In Nigeria's ever-dramatic political theater, one thing remains constant. The parties that promise change often end up mirroring the very chaos they claim to fight. And once again, the Labour Party is in the eye of that storm. You're welcome to another edition of Let's Talk Politics on Naija Anchor News. I am Abigail and I will be your host. Not long ago, the Labour Party made a move that turned heads across the country, led by two of its most recognizable figures, the 2023 presidential candidates Peter Obi and Abia State Governor Alex Otti. Key members marched to the headquarters of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, in Abuja. Their demand was unambiguous. INEC must recognize Alhaji Lamidi Usman as the legitimate national chairman of the Labour Party and not Julius Abure, whose name still appears on INEC's website. This followed the Supreme Court's decision that overturned the prior Court of Appeal ruling, which had recognized Abure as chairman. And just like that, the Labour Party was thrown back into familiar territory, a bitter leadership crisis with the court as its center. But this is more than a power play. It's a credibility crisis. Peter Obi, who inspired millions in the 2023 elections with a message of accountability and the new Nigeria, emphasis on the new Nigeria, now finds himself entangled in a political mess that looks suspiciously like the old Nigeria. His presence at the INEC headquarters wasn't just symbolic, it was strategic. It showed that he is not only still very much involved in party decisions, but also invested in shaping its leadership. But the irony is painful. A man whose campaign was rooted in rejecting traditional political dysfunction is now trying to steady a party on the verge of self-destruction.
Well, at a time like this, we need to rescue our country from collapsing. It's not just being in private business that is important. The country is beset with several problems where all we do now is producing poverty, insecurity, and everything. All symptoms of a failing state is here, and we need to start reversing that. And the only way to reverse that is to get involved. That's why I'm involved. Well, you need to secure and unite the country. Today, insecurity is everywhere. It's not as if the enemy is more formidable than the government. But because of weak leadership and weak governance of our security infrastructure, the country is insecure, and you need to unite the country. Two, you need to move the country from consumption to production. The country needs to be more productive. If you look at our results today is low compared with our population and our size. When you compare us with the other country of our size.
Governor Alex Otti's involvement adds another layer. Since becoming Abia State Governor, Otti has styled himself as a results-driven reformer, one of the few obedient politicians with executive power. His visible support for Usman's leadership suggests that this is more than a factional fight. It's a realignment of the party's future ahead of the 2025 election cycle. And what about INEC? The body played it safe again. National Commissioner Sam Olumekun acknowledged the visit, thanked the delegation, and assured them that transparency will guide INEC's actions. That's the same kind of vague reassurance we've heard before. During the 2023 election controversies, during voter register debates, and now again as 2027 approaches. But the reality is this: INEC's credibility, already strained, cannot afford to be neutral in the face of legal clarity. If the Supreme Court has spoken, then INEC must reflect that in its records. Otherwise, it fuels the perception that institutions are only bold when convenient and silent when it matters most. The whole saga is part of a broader pattern. The PDP is still struggling to unite after multiple chairmanship disputes. The APC, despite being in power, is internally divided on everything from zoning to ministerial list. And now, the Labour Party, once hailed as a breath of fresh air by millions of Nigerian youths, is caught in the same trap. Let's call it what it is. This isn't a Labour Party problem. It's a Nigerian party problem. We do not have political parties in the true sense. What we have are political vehicles for personal ambition. Ideology is optional. Internal democracy is negotiable. The constitution is just a suggestion. And the consequences are real. Young Nigerians who poured into the state in 2020 under NSAS and into polling stations in 2023 under the Obedience movement are watching closely. Many are disillusioned, others are silent, but all are asking the same question. If even the party of hope can't fix itself, who can? Maybe it's time we stopped expecting politicians to fix these parties from within. Maybe the real pressure must come from the outside, from citizens, voters, organizers, and watchdogs who demand that political parties be more than clubs for the connected. Because if parties can't run credible congresses, resolve disputes without court drama, or respect their own rules, then how can they possibly govern a country of over 200 million people? It's time to stop watching the game and start rewriting the rules. Well, viewers, we've come to the end of this edition. Do you have any personal reservations, comments, or suggestions you would like to share with us? Please do so in the comment section and stay tuned to Naija Anchor News for more editions of Let's Talk Politics.